Your boy, Terence Bud Crawford, pulls out of negotiations with Errol Spence Jr. and signs to fight David Avaneysan. What's your thoughts?
All right. As a boxing fan, it's annoying. As a coach and as the father of a fighter, if they was gonna pay my son $10 million to fight David Avaneysan, I ain't gonna lie. We fighting David Avaneysan. We is though. We fighting him though. We fighting him, and then we gonna get back to the fight after that. If that was on my plate, because Terence Crawford ain't never get $10 million. Fight nobody. You gonna be mad at him for that? I can't really be mad at him for that. But you know, I think it's just the way Bud has been about the fight and how he's, you know what I mean, all the PBC guys don't want to fight me and all of this stuff. And then like you the one that like walked out the room this time. That's not pleasing for me as a fan, and I know it's probably not pleasing to a lot of other Crawford fans or whatever.
I would have made the move too, business-wise. But does this destroy the narrative that Bomac, Terence Crawford have been putting out for years, that the reason why they didn't fight is Earl and PBC?
Yeah, I mean, if you really look at like the way everybody be moving in boxing, we should have been expecting what was happening. You know what I mean? Us and Terence Crawford and them too, them better than us, right? Because they the ones in the middle of it. But it's just like, that whole narrative a lot of the times, it be nonsense when you be hearing it, period. These guys, they're under certain promotional banners and stuff like that. And sometimes certain banners, they ain't dealing with each other and everything. And it get hard to make fights. And sometimes that's the case, you know what I mean? But I guess for promotional purposes and stuff like that, who would say that, right? You can't just say, oh, I can't because of this and I can't because of that. You know, people ain't gonna want to hear that. You know what I mean? Everybody got a product to sell.
Fans hate to hear the business of boxing, or business in referring to boxing, in their eyes, just make the fight. If the fight doesn't happen, it seems like they pick a guy and say, oh, you're ducking, you're scared. Are fighters scared of other fighters?
Nah, not like that. Because first of all, fighters don't even be scared to lose. Like they all then took a whooping in sparring and went home like nothing ever happened. Like that happens all the time in gyms and stuff like that. Unless you're talking about like one of them knockouts when the guy goes down and has the seizure. I guess like that's something that you don't want to run into that. But as far as like taking an L or something, guys don't be afraid of that. They don't fear each other, man. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's business, sometimes it's positioning. You had situations where it's like a guy might not want to fight this guy, or this camp might not want to deal with this guy right now. He'd rather go another way. But as far as like, is he afraid of him? Nah, I ain't seen too many times where God was like, nah, not really.
What is a deciding factor in most fights, happening, not happening? Is it legacy or is it money?
Money. Legacy. Listen, you want the legacy fights. If it's possible for them to make, then you make them and you fight in them, right? And then hopefully they talk about you forever, right? You want to be like in the history books. But if a fight don't happen, it's usually going to be because financially it wasn't adding up in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Or for somebody, it might not have been adding up. You know what I mean? It's usually going to be a financial reason.